was April 13th, I believe, or April 18th, 1983. And I remember the day because the Pulitzer Prizes were going to be announced that night.
Wow.
So it was a Monday. It was the day they announced the Pulitzers. And I knew I'd been nominated by my paper for my coverage of the Israeli invasion of Lebanon. And it was 1:06 p.m. and I was in my apartment listening to the BBC 1 o'clock news. And I was listening to it on something that's called a transistor radio. This was a small radio that you could actually put on your desk and get the world news. And I had it on my desk in Beirut, and there was an explosion so powerful, it knocked the radio off my desk. It shook the building that much. And I did what I always did back then. I ran downstairs and looked for, A, see if I see smoke anywhere, and B, listen for sirens. Because the Israelis often set off sonic booms over Beirut. So you never knew what was a sonic boom and what was an explosion. And then once you heard the sirens, you know, you knew something was going on. And then I saw a mushroom cloud curling up in the distance. And so I just did that journalism thing. I chased it.
Right.
And
Went straight into it.
Well, yeah, ran toward it. I got closer and closer. I said, I couldn't be, no, it couldn't be. And then I rounded the corner, and there was the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, where I'd spent time over the years seeing different diplomats. It was cut in half like a doll's house. Bodies were hanging, from different floors. There was a obviously smoldering, ruin there where the embassy was. And I asked someone, I don't remember who or exactly when, but in the reporting, because there was like no perimeter or anything, you just went there and I said, what happened? And they said that a man drove a truck up the front steps of the embassy. Again, there was no perimeter back in those days.
Yeah.
And into the lobby and blew it up. And I'll never forget what I said. I said, you mean he blew himself up? He committed suicide? And that seemed to me just like the most unreal thing, that somebody in the 21st century, or 20th century was committing suicide like that, a kamikaze act. And little did I know that was the first of what would be a form of violence and terrorism that would plague this region and in many ways shape so much of my career in journalism.